The United States Agency for International Development, or USAID, has long been a cornerstone of American foreign policy. Established in 1961 by President John F. Kennedy, USAID has worked in countless countries to provide humanitarian aid, promote economic development, and foster democratic values. From disaster relief efforts to agricultural initiatives, USAID has played a critical role in alleviating poverty, combating disease, and advancing American interests abroad. Its dismantlement marks a significant shift in U.S. foreign policy and has raised concerns about the future of global development. USAID's reach has been vast, with programs operating in every corner of the globe. The agency has been instrumental in providing emergency aid following natural disasters, such as the 2010 Haiti earthquake and the 2004 Indian Ocean tsunami. USAID has also been a key player in global health initiatives, working to eradicate diseases like polio and malaria. Beyond humanitarian assistance, USAID has played a crucial role in promoting economic growth and democratic governance in developing countries, often acting as a force multiplier for American influence. The agency's work has often been intertwined with U.S. strategic interests, particularly during the Cold War, when USAID's efforts were often seen as a means of containing the spread of communism. However, even after the fall of the Soviet Union, USAID continued to play a vital role in promoting American values and interests abroad. The agency's commitment to democracy promotion, human rights, and the rule of law has made it a target of criticism from some quarters who argue that it represents an overreach of American power. Despite these criticisms, USAID has remained a respected and influential actor on the world stage, earning praise from both Democrats and Republicans for its work. Its dismantling represents a significant departure from decades of U.S. foreign policy and has raised concerns about America's commitment to global development and its role as a global leader. The decision to dismantle USAID was not a sudden one. It unfolded over several months, marked by a series of policy shifts and legal battles. In early 2025, whispers of USAID's potential closure began circulating within the agency and among development experts. The Trump administration, known for its America First agenda, had long expressed skepticism about foreign aid, viewing it as an unnecessary expense. This skepticism was amplified by Elon Musk, a close ally of President Trump and the head of the newly formed Department of Government Efficiency, or DOGE. Musk, known for his disruptive approach to business and technology, was tasked with streamlining government operations and reducing spending. USAID, with its sprawling bureaucracy and global footprint, became a prime target for Musk's efficiency drive. In February 2025, the Trump administration announced the first wave of USAID cuts, placing thousands of employees on administrative leave and terminating numerous programs. These initial cuts sent shockwaves through the development community, signaling a major shift in U.S. foreign policy. Despite facing legal challenges and mounting criticism, the Trump administration pressed ahead with its plans to dismantle USAID. The administration argued that the agency was bloated, inefficient, and riddled with waste. They also contended that USAID's functions could be absorbed by the State Department, streamlining operations and reducing redundancy. Critics, however, argued that the dismantling of USAID would have dire consequences for global development and harm America's standing in the world. As the dismantling process gained momentum, USAID employees found themselves in a state of limbo. Many were left wondering about their futures, unsure if they would have jobs or if their work would continue. The uncertainty and fear within the agency were palpable, as a once thriving institution found itself on the brink of collapse. The dismantling of USAID marked a turbulent period in the agency's history, leaving its future uncertain and raising questions about the direction of U.S. foreign policy. Reports highlighted numerous instances of wasteful spending within USAID, including unused equipment and funds allocated to ineffective programs. Critics pointed to empty conference rooms and abandoned project sites as evidence of the agency's inefficiencies. Audits revealed financial mismanagement and a lack of accountability, further fueling the push for its dismantling. These revelations intensified the debate over the future of USAID, with proponents of the shutdown arguing that reform was long overdue. The dismantling of USAID did not proceed without resistance. Legal challenges arose, contesting the legality and constitutionality of the process. Critics argued that the Trump administration had overstepped its authority in dismantling USAID, claiming that the move required congressional approval. Lawsuits were filed, alleging that the dismantling process was rushed, opaque, and violated the rights of USAID employees. Adding another layer of complexity to the legal battle was the role of Elon Musk. His involvement in the USAID dismantling drew scrutiny, with some questioning whether his position as a private citizen heading a government agency posed a conflict of interest. Critics pointed to Musk's public statements criticizing USAID, arguing that his personal biases influenced the decision-making process. The international community also reacted with a mix of concern and condemnation. Countries that had long relied on USAID assistance expressed anxieties about the future of development projects and the potential for instability. The European Union, a key partner in development aid, urged the U.S. to reconsider its decision, warning of the negative consequences for global health, poverty reduction, and humanitarian efforts. The dismantling of USAID sparked protests and demonstrations around the world. Development experts, humanitarian organizations, and concerned citizens voiced their opposition to the move, arguing that it would have devastating consequences for the world's most vulnerable populations. The backlash against the dismantling of USAID highlighted the agency's significance on the global stage and the widespread support it enjoyed. With USAID effectively dismantled, the future of U.S. foreign aid remains uncertain. The Trump administration maintains that the State Department is fully capable of absorbing USAID's functions, and that U.S. foreign aid will continue, albeit with a more focused and strategic approach. However, many observers remain skeptical, questioning whether the State Department, already stretched thin, has the capacity or expertise to effectively manage development programs on a global scale. The dismantling of USAID raises fundamental questions about the role of foreign aid in U.S. foreign policy. Will the U.S. continue to be a global leader in development assistance, or will it retreat from its international commitments, prioritizing its own interests above all else? The answers to these questions have profound implications for the world's poorest and most vulnerable populations, as well as for the future of global development. The dismantling of USAID could also have unintended consequences for U.S. national security. By reducing its investments in development and diplomacy, the U.S. risks creating power vacuums that could be exploited by rivals and adversaries. Moreover, the perceived retreat from global leadership could damage America's reputation and erode its soft power. As the world grapples with complex challenges, from climate change to pandemics, the need for international cooperation and development assistance has never been greater. The dismantling of USAID, a symbol of American generosity and global engagement, raises concerns about the future of U.S. leadership in a world facing unprecedented uncertainty. The long-term impact of USAID's dismantling remains to be seen. Whether it marks a temporary shift in U.S. foreign policy or a more permanent retreat from global engagement is a question that will be debated for years to come. What is certain is that the world is watching closely, and the decisions made by the U.S. in the realm of foreign aid will have far-reaching consequences.